This past year has been a roller coaster ride with many ups and downs. Our everyday life has been flipped upside down, and we've had to adjust to the many changes. What used to be our normal now sounds almost foreign to us. Naturally, people are not really accustomed to change. So many of these changes that we're going through have been interpreted as negative changes, but there has also been many positive changes that have come about with the COVID-19 pandemic. There were many big changes that we've had to become adjusted to, some of which had positive impacts, and of course, some of which had negative impacts. The switch to a fully remote learning platform hit students of all ages really hard. This switch was difficult for a lot of students, including myself. Some of us are still trying to fully adjust today. But the introduction of optional, in-person, and/or remote instruction was a big win to the education world, especially during the northeastern Pennsylvania winter months. Even when we are back to a fully in-person format, we will be able to utilize a remote instruction format during the occurrence of snow days or other extreme weather events. The utilization of Zoom and similar platforms has many benefits for students and employees across the country. Another change we had to adjust to was the reduction of social events, gatherings, and family time. To help slow the spread of the COVID-19 virus, social events, public gatherings, and family time was cut short. We missed out on over a year's worth of normal life with social events and family time. We may have suffered with the loss of loved ones without seeing them. We may be stuck grieving alone due to the restrictions on funeral processions. Although normal events may have been lost, the introduction of new online events and communications thrived. And I'm a firm believer that this new technology will carry onward long after the COVID-19 pandemic is over. Lastly, throughout the pandemic, we have seen the best in people, and we've also seen the worst in people, unfortunately. People have been pushed and shoved over the last roll of toilet paper on a Convenient Mart's shelves. That alone shows that frustration, greed, and selfishness proceeded in some, which is really unfortunate. Well, on the other hand, communities have come together to support each other, saving businesses during these horrible times, showing that positivity, forgiveness, and selflessness proceed in others, which is really important during a time like this, when many businesses struggled. Some were saved because of community uproar. This past year has been difficult, as there's been quite a few negatives, more than I went over today, but there's also been many positives. Once again, more than I went over today, but there's always a bright side to reflect on, and sometimes that is forgotten about. As bad as some things can be, there can always be a positive result or something to learn from and move on with. Throughout the duration of this video, I hope I was able to share some insight on my reflection of the past year and open your mind to acknowledge some of the positives that are always scattered amongst the negatives. Thank you.